All righty, we are live on Facebook.
Yebo.
Which is awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's see if I can pick it up on here as well and get us going. I'm sure, I hope everybody can hear us. Oh no, I can pick it up on here already. Okay, cool. It's coming. It's going to be on just now. Yeah, we're on. We are
Great.
on. Thanks, my man. And I want to put this on speaker view so that it's only you I see. I don't want to see myself. But thank you very much. That was an excellent conversation, Sia.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you to you as well.
Yeah, no, and I think it aptly kicks in here. So we've got, firstly, I need to apologize because I didn't realize when I stood you up the last time, it was the second time. Tseko had a mild heart attack. So let me apologize for that, for our inability to have met the last time in Cape Town in the rain where I thought I could do it and I couldn't do it. But, you know, we introduced this Guiding Growth to have conversations with our hosts for two reasons, really. Reason number one is, you know, we really, really want to profile the host in terms of your capabilities. And I think there's nothing more apt than the capability that you've just shown us in having conversations about relationships. That was really, really brilliant. And the second thing is also to highlight the course. But the major one is to highlight, you know, who you are. So tell us a little bit about Siyabonga and Ntshangase.
Thank you, Vic. Hi, everyone. My name is Siyabonga Ntshangase. I'm a counseling psychologist by profession. And I love what I do. I am a speaker. I'm an inspiring leader. I'm a mental health advocate. I really believe that mental health is for everyone. And then we need to not only treat people who have mental illnesses, but just live a life that is filled with openness and awareness about our daily experiences. And then those experiences are able to help us to be better in our life. So yeah, I like all sorts of topics to talk about and learn from. And then, yes, I'm married to one wife, no kids as yet. Yeah, and yeah, that's me. No,
and that's important because not the one wife bit, but just getting to know about you, because what I want to dig into, I'm going to come to the mental health and wellness bit just now, but I want to dig in a little bit more because I've always noticed psychologists just brushing over the, you know, I'm a psychologist, and, you know, it's kind of like, you know, I've done my, you know, BCom, you know, no, it's not quite the same thing. So run me past a little bit of this journey of becoming, you know, a psychologist.
Okay, I think that's really interesting. A lot of people get to ask about this. I can start from as far as grade 9. I think in grade 9, my LO teacher selected me and like 9 other kids to go to an excursion where we learned on how to be peer counselors or peer educators. And I think that's one of the major things that set me off to having an interest in being a psychologist or doing what I'm doing today. Then we learned about all sorts of things, psychosocial skills, and was mainly based on HIV. And then we came back and to teach other kids. Was very active in the church as well, where I had a lot of experience with counseling kids and other youths, my peers, actually navigating life. And then I found out that I could do this in university, and then I did my undergrad, honors, and masters at UJ.
So undergrad is how long?
So undergrad is 3 years. So I did a BA in psychology. So at UJ, it's like specific psychology. In other areas, Bachelor of Social Science, and then you choose psychology maybe in 3rd year. So 3 years undergrad, and 1 year honors. So I did a BA honors in psychology, and then I had to apply again for masters. And then in masters, you go through a rigorous 5-day selection process where people are like, you get callbacks each day. So they cut people off until the final day, and then they choose you. I was one out of 12 students, and then it became 11 because the one student didn't make it at the end of the year. And then, yeah, after that.
It's only a cohort of 12 that go in.
Yes, cohort of 12. From like hundreds, if not thousands of applications, and cutting people down, especially in public institutions. That's the whole process. And then after your master's, you're not done yet. You still need to do either 1 year internship or 1 or 2 years for clinical psychologist. I did counseling psychologist, counseling psychology, and then for clins, they would then have an internship year and an extra year for community service. And then when you're done with your internship, you write your board exams, and then you qualify to be psychologist. So yeah.
And the reason why I'm emphasizing this point, Sia, is because let's distinguish between the guy who gets up and calls himself, a counseling whatever, vis-a-vis those who've gone through the process. And we're really privileged at ValueEd to have, your kind of expertise, your kind of, qualification, and particularly your kind of person. Because, I mean, one of the things that you do is not just articulate what you articulate, but you inspire what you're trying to articulate. So, and that takes us to this, love of yours, which is this mental health and wellness. Tell us a little bit about that and what you're trying to do in that.
So thank you for that. I grew up in Ntshangase, which is a township in Ekurhuleni. Growing up, I used to be quite fascinated with people who were struggling with mental health illnesses, like schizophrenia. So the guy that would walk around the street and that would have this name like Sunny Boy or Bobby or all of those things. And I was always intrigued as to how people living with schizophrenia, like how are they not in institutions like I would see in television, or what happens in their lives, because they led really colorful lives. I believe they're one of the most liberated people because they can do whatever, and they didn't care about that. So I was always interested in that, and a lot of other things that we saw growing up in the township, the impact of alcoholism, the impact of gender-based violence and spirituality, and a whole lot of other things. So my interest in how people live started from there. And then career stuff as well, which is a whole nother conversation in terms of the I'd say the poverty of career education in underprivileged backgrounds has always been something else. And it's my story as well, because I was almost a victim of that. So that love of knowing how people live, how they think, how they feel has always sparked that interest, and communicating it in a language that everyone can understand is something I'm also quite inspired by. That before COVID, like no one really thought that you could be depressed, or depression was always seen as this westernized concept, or rich people's illness, an illness that you can afford, apparently, because people must get over it or something like that. But bringing out the conversation that it's possible, it happens to men specifically as well, who in society were always meant to be the strong ones, and who shouldn't be down and out and all of those things. So I've always been interested in that, and finding ways to articulate that to people in a way that they can be both educated and inspired to do and be better. So it's still a journey. So about that, so I then started doing talks in high schools about careers and how to get into university. And before the online thing started, we would go around in universities and collect application forms and hand it out to people and stuff like that, and give them more information and brochures and career packs that we would make and things like that. So it's always been the conversation around self-development, getting better, and mental health.
So I mean, this is just a short clip to highlight our hosts of Value Ed, but very importantly to highlight you as individuals. And obviously you run a practice as well.
Yes.
We can reach you out on.
Yes. I run a practice in Waverley, in Johannesburg. And I also, my practice is also online. And yeah, I'm happy to meet people like based on various issues that pertain to daily living as well.
So I mean, they're not hard to find you. They can find you on LinkedIn specifically.
Yes. I have a website as well, siyabongawellness.co.za. That's also a great referral source. Psychology Today and many other platforms. You just, yeah.
You'll find it. They definitely will find you. So Siya, just thank you for that. And we just really wanted to highlight just, how powerful we have as, as hosts, and you certainly are the powerhouse, and the subjects and conversations are highly inspiring, very useful, leave people with food for thought. And your commitment to particularly the youth is amazing and admirable, and we thank you for that. And yeah, all we can say is let's go forth and keep conquering and supporting those that need the help. And with your background, I think that's going to be amazing. So thanks for this evening, and thanks for the time. And yeah, looking forward to more chats in the future.
Yes, thank you so much. Can I talk about the course just a bit?
Yes, you can.
So yes,
but yeah, we'll let you talk about the course. We want to talk about you, but yeah, talk about the course.
So we're part of the mental health and wellness course that's on valueed.co.za. We started in April, May, and we've been making conversations about stress management, how to cope. We did self-assertiveness in the previous one. The one we had today was on relationships. Yes, because with the new value add, we are moving more towards conversation, and it's not like a lecture. We're trying our best not to make it a lecture, but to kind of use psychological insights to daily living. So it could be with whatever someone is going through, and like, oh, but here's a theory, or this is how you could see it, or maybe ask more questions that would open up other ways of looking at things and maybe giving more information and resources. And that's what we do, and that's what we're trying to do. So we'd really appreciate if people would join the platform, and they could watch all of the clips or the videos that we've made in the past few weeks and catch up with us, and then join us, and then we take it from there.
Absolutely. Thanks for plugging us. Yay. But I like that construct of using psychological insights to have general conversations. That's a powerful thing. And I think we really did that really well today. And thanks for leading us with that. So yeah, for those of you really, you want to engage more with Siyabonga on our Value Ed platform, please go to www.valueed.co.za, and you'll find us there, 2 E's in Value Ed.
Yes.
And you'll see Siyabonga and his mental health and wellness course, which is really exciting. And please come on it. It's just so much. I'm gaining so much knowledge on it. So I'd like everybody else to gain as much knowledge as possible. Have a good evening. Tomorrow's Friday. So have a good weekend, because I won't see you.
Yes, we should hear the results of the local elections. So
elections, yeah, I think there's a lot of people who are going to be crying in their soup tonight. But all good for democracy of our country. So
yes, I'd like to say also thank you so much, Vigela, for the opportunity. It's been a great start to be in Value Aid, and we anticipate greater things to happen from the platform.
Absolutely. Thank you, my man. Thank you. Thank you so much. Humbled. Have a good evening.
You too, man. Bye.
Cheers.